Friday, Bronco Segota and the San Diego Sockers proved unwelcome guests in Cleveland. They trounced the Force 7-3, with 6 of the 7 goals being scored by midfielder Segota. Well, we all know that turnabout is fair play, and our turn is next. Cleveland at San Diego, live in 19, coming up. The Cleveland Force, Sports Marketing Incorporated, and WOIO 19 present the following sports presentation. This game is brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Elias Brothers Big Boy Restaurants, Northeast Ohio's favorite family restaurant. By Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Ohio. By Mr. Hero, people who follow their hearts make Mr. Hero their goal. By the East Ohio Gas Company, the Sunshine People, who remind you that in Northeast Ohio, the climate is right for gas. And by Smuckers. With a name like Smuckers, it has to be good.
San Diego Sports Arena, where tonight a pair of 6 and 4 ball clubs will match up this evening, the Cleveland Force and the San Diego Sockers. Hi, everybody. I'm Denny Schreiner along with Bill McDermott. And a week ago this last Friday night, Bronco Segota ran absolutely wild at the Coliseum. If he does that again tonight, it could be loss number 5 on the year.
That's exactly right, Denny. He had 6 goals and assisted on the other. And you just can't let a player like Bronco Segota play that way against your team. He's going to penalize you every time he touches the ball. That's one of the first things. That's the real key. Keep the ball away from him. Don't let Segota and Hugo Perez start setting things up with their 1-2s and running wildly in your backfield. Second of all, keep the ball a bit. Jay Hoffman said, well, we'll win by playing boring soccer. We'll keep the ball away from them. You can't go forward all the time, because every time you do, they'll penalize you by coming forward, and they will score 10 goals if you get 9. If you get a dozen, they'll get 13. Third of all, don't make any mistakes, because every time you do against a talented club like the San Diego Sockers, they'll put it in the back of the net, and they'll do it rapidly. They don't care how many goals they score.
In retrospect, Billy, Cleveland has done very well against Los Angeles in the past. They had a 15-1 record going into Wednesday night. They got beat 9-5. What kind of an effect does that have on the club heading into this evening?
Well, the effect you want to do with that game is, Denny, is absolutely forget it. J&T and Montoma, they played absolutely horrible. They wanted to play the next day if it'd be at all possible. Well, they had to wait one day. So you get that out of your system, and you try to play attractive soccer away from home and make that other team play attractive soccer for their home fans.
Well, the Cleveland Force will hopefully come up with victory number 7 this evening, gain a little ground on Baltimore. Meanwhile, the Sockers are 6 and 4. They'd like to stay in first place. We'll be back with the starting lineups in the opening kickoff right after these messages. From San Diego, we thought they might start a moment early, but what the heck, Bill? It should be a heck of a ball game.
I agree with you, Denny, and what you have to guard against, as we talked about earlier, was keeping the ball away from Bronco Segota. That's first and foremost. He can be very potent. There's no secret to his mastery of taking people on one-on-one. If he gets the ball anywhere from the midfield area on Denny, and he has an opportunity to go at that last defender, as we look at P.J. Johns, he won't hesitate, and he is very dangerous. Another key, playing here in San Diego, is to force their team, force the home team to play attractive soccer to keep their fans occupied. If number 20 can't do it, they have other people to do it. And they're capable of keeping the ball, too, but they can be electrifying when breaking out of the back.
Segota, unbelievable a week ago, last Friday night at the Coliseum, scoring 6 times. And if that wasn't enough, he added insult to injury, and he also contributed an assist. He actually scored all 7 points in that 73 victory.
He just wanted to make certain, as we look at his head coach, Ron Newman. Closest to the camera is Johan Arnio. Johan Arnio, along with Ron Newman, have been the subject of a little bit of controversy out here lately, included among the cast of characters in the controversial scheme of things: Julie V, Kevin Crowe, Hugo Perez, and it goes on and on. Perhaps that stems from the fact that they didn't win in the playoffs last year, Denny. They found that losing wasn't too kind to swallow.
Brian Bliss has it taken away, and it's a 2-on-1 break early on. Timo Lakowski said, hey, we're going to have to control the tempo in this one from the very beginning. If not, the Sockers could run us right out of the building. Knocked down from behind, so Allen will start it in. Hoskevy now on the right wing. Kai takes a shot, and it's stopped by Zoltan Toth. Kai knocked down, and they're going to call pushing on Hermes. Team foul number 3. Both clubs with 3 here in the early stages. 9:07 remaining in the first quarter of play. Force on the offense. Nice chip inside, all alone. Craig Allen standing there all by his lonesome, and that's the easiest goal he'll get this season.
Ooh, I think you or I could have knocked that ball in, Denny. There's no sense in having a burglar alarm if you leave the back door open. Craig Allen standing absolutely unmarked at that far post. Slots it home for a forced goal. A very easy goal, as you pointed out, Denny.
Couldn't have come at a better time because Timo said we have to get ahead and then dictate the tempo. And we'll take a break now. So with 9:03 left in the opening quarter, it's the Force 1 and San Diego nothing. You're watching Force Soccer on 19.
Time to goal 5:57.
San Diego Sports Arena. Force is now taking a 1-0 lead on a Craig Allen goal with 9:03 in the first quarter. The assist to Desmond Armstrong for Craig Allen, goal number 11 on the season.
Here's how it was started. Kioski on the free kick, lays it off to John Stolmeyer, runs into the space. This is absolutely beautiful stuff as the Force stroking around with one-touch soccer, enabling Allen to be away from his defender at that far post and just redirected into the goal. Very nicely done. Getting a lot of players involved in the flow of the attack. That was the real key. And then Denny, the quick one-touch passing. Very nicely done from Hoskevy to Stolmeyer to Armstrong to Allen.
Working feverishly to change headsets here, so now we have some communication with our producer, John Comiskey, and now we do. I think the Force communicating well right now with head coach Timo Likowski because they lead 1-0.
And the San Diego Sockers, the home team tonight, have had very few chances to go one-on-one with the last defender in the open field.
On a 70-foot shot by Hermes, a little bit wide of the mark. Segota with a shot, and PJ equal to the task near the right bar. So we've come to the end of the first quarter of play. We'll take a break. The Force leads 1-0, and you're watching Cleveland Force Soccer on 19.
Running out of the back by Andy Schmetzer on that prior play, and Zoltan Toth did the only thing that he could have done in that particular play.
Covered up nicely. Don't forget, Force fans, December 16th is Lake County News Herald Family Night. And for a great price of $17.95, bring the whole family as you will receive 4 tickets to the game, 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes, and additional seats are available for only $4.50. So look for a coupon in the Lake County News Herald and in your Force fan release. All orders will be left at the Coliseum box office. Oh, my goodness. And then pushed from behind was Dennis Mepham that time by Segota, but the blast nevertheless steered away.
Excellent opportunity for the Sockers to get back into the game. What they like to do is isolate Segota so that he can run onto the ball. And when the Force defenders are packed in like that, Denny, it's very easy for him to do just that. He has all kinds of space to run onto the ball, and he can get a shot on goal unmolested.
Kazamani knocked it down. Now Mepham on the move with it. And Toth will tap it out. Brian Schmetzer now to Hermes. Across midfield. A little flip pass there. Hermes gets it back, and now Schmetzer. And the Sockers don't like what they see defensively, and it's almost like a basketball team wanting to play man-to-man, and all they're seeing is zone.
And when they look up, as you just pointed out, then if they don't like what they see, they're simply content to knock it back to the last 2 defenders and attempt something just like that. Find a teammate isolated away from the flow of the play, away at the far post. Perhaps he was unmarked, and that's what happened on that particular occasion.
Well, there's no question San Diego quickly becoming frustrated with the defensive prowess of the Cleveland Force. Timo Likowski says we're ahead 1-0. We'll dictate the tempo of this one. Desi back out to Stolmeyer, and then the pass stolen away by Dougherty. Brian Schmetzer with a wall pass, and now Dougherty on the move at the red line. Top of the arc to Ketter. He's a dangerous player in there. Boy, it's like a morgue in this place, Bill. Huh? All I hear is you and I at this stage, and boy, that's silence is golden, as it were.
And the Force defenders, as we pointed out when the game started, and they're still doing, not allowing the Sockers' very formidable offensive players to get their game in gear. Not allowing players like Perez and Segota make runs at the last person back.
Clavillo with a shot, but Mepham knocked it down. Well, Dennis controls. And the Force once again with a nice defensive effort. Armstrong across midfield, bumped off the ball, and Desmond Armstrong will get a chance to start it in play once again. Clavillo with the foul.
You will draw fouls. People like Desmond Armstrong running out of the back just like that will draw fouls with that particular play.
Hoskevy with a pass inside, and Bliss was all alone through the box. So the Force, oh my goodness, first professional goal for the #1 draft choice, Brian Bliss, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
There's that youth running into those open spaces. Number 8, Brian Bliss, as Denny Schreiner pointed out, the #1 pick last year, All-American at Southern Connecticut State. Nicely done by number 8, Brian Bliss. He runs onto it and roofs it. His very first professional goal. The ball provided to him by the assist leader in the MISL last year, Kai Hoskevy.
And we'll take a break, Force fans. The Force now leads 2-0 here in San Diego, and you're watching it on 19. Of the San Diego Sports Arena. 13 seconds left in the first half. Force leads 2-0. And now it's time to play defense.
And you see Fernando Clavillo donning the goalkeeper's jersey as a 6th attacker with 13 seconds left in the first half.
Long pass in, and this one controlled by PJ, and that will run out the first half of play. So the Cleveland Force leads 2-0 here in San Diego. Let's hope this trend continues into quarter number 3. Bill and I'll be back with some interesting halftime features. Once again, the score at halftime, Cleveland 2, the Sockers 0, and you're watching it on 19. At the Sports Arena, where the Force leads at halftime 2-0. Craig Allen with a goal at 9:03 of the first quarter, and Brian Bliss off the Kai Hoskevy assist at 4:57 of quarter number 2. The Force leads 2-0 at this point, Bill McDermott, and things are looking up for Cleveland.
Very much so. They're doing exactly what they set out to do when the game started. Keep the ball away from Bronco Segota, but at least when he gets the ball, you're not going to keep the ball away from him for the entire first half. When he gets the ball, don't allow him to get into any dangerous situations. They've accomplished that. He's had some shots on goal, but when that has occurred, the defense has been equal to the task. They've clogged it in. That sometimes can be dangerous because the goalkeeper has a difficult time following the flow of the ball, in particular against players like San Diego who really knocked the ball around nicely. But they've accomplished both very nicely.
Well, P.J. Johns hanging in there. He's pitching his shutout. And earlier this evening, Bill had a chance to talk with well, I guess the family affair in the MISL, both Brian and Andy Schmetzer, and I think you'll enjoy this coming up next.
First Force game, and it's a family affair, if you will. We have a chance to talk with Andy Schmetzer from the Cleveland Force and his brother Brian. And Brian, well, first we'll start with your younger brother, if you don't mind. And Andy, I have to ask you that you being a former member of the Force reserve team, now getting into playing on the full team, one of the keys playing on the reserve team is to have patience.
Yeah, you practice a lot. You know, you don't get into any of the games. You just you got to have a lot of patience and work hard, and you'll get your chance eventually.
And you always look forward to coming out here to San Diego against your brother, don't you?
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
Brian, I have to ask you, we read all kinds of things in the paper. Julie V suspended for the team. Players are walking out of practice. Some players want to be traded. What's going on out here?
Well, to say the least, we've had our share of off-the-field problems, if you can call them problems. This team has always had a history of differences between the players and the coach, and I don't know, a lot of people feel that it seems to make us play a little bit better, and it's holding true this year as well. I mean, we're in first place on the, in the Western Division, so, who knows? Maybe this is good for the character of this team.
And it's a somewhat of a different look for the Sockers this year, but you always play a powerful soccer. One of the teams that's really looked up to in the league for real powerful soccer.
Well, we like to play high pressure, all over the field. That's one of the things that Ron Newman likes us to do, put pressure in between the red lines. And naturally, you're going to create turnovers that way. And after the turnovers, then you have guys like Hugo Perez, Bronco Segota that know where the goal is, and they really go at it.
Oh, yeah, we've noticed. A significant game for Brian, and the fact that he's coming back tonight, his first game after a shoulder location. How you feeling?
Well, it's a little bit sore, but, hopefully Andy won't bang me into the boards or anything like that. You know, I'm just going to stay away from him, and, you know, I'll take care of the rest of them.
Let's go back to Andy for a second. Speaking of injuries in the Schmetzer family, how's Walter progressing?
Walt's knee is getting a lot better. He practiced a couple days before we left, and he should be in shape in about a week. You know, he just got to get his endurance up again, and he should be back in it.
Andy, I just asked Brian about the new look of the San Diego Sockers, a somewhat new look. Yeah. The Force really have a new look, being the youngest team in the league, and that's one of the real keys in the MISL, despite the fact of the years of experience, the lack of years of experience. One of the keys is to have youth.
Yeah, they're trying to get youth and a little bit of speed on our team, and what's good about it is it gives young players a chance to show what they can do, especially being Americans. And I think it's great for the sport, and it's just going to take us a little while to get really in sync with each other, and by the end of the season we should be going real well.
1 week ago tonight it was 7-3 at the Richfield Coliseum against the same club. What happened there?
Bronco Segota took over, I guess. 6 goals and 1 assist. We let him loose at the halfway line a little bit. He tends to cheat a little bit, and we would attack with 5 guys, and they'd nick a ball away, and he'd be off 1-on-1 or 1-on-2 the other way. So we got to stop that from happening tonight.
He could be very potent. And one last question for you, Brian. I know probably one of the first things that you and Andy and Walter, for that matter, look at when the schedule comes out is, well, when do we go to Tacoma? You have a real big fan up there, don't you?
Oh, yeah. My father's going to be watching the game tonight. He's going to try and pick it up on on satellite back up in Seattle, and I know he's going to be enjoying watching the game.
So good luck to you tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Andy, thank you very much. Don't either one of you guys go over the top of the ball on each other.
All right.
Okay?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Brian and Andy Schmetzer, and we'll be back with more halftime right after this.
Oh, Segota with a beautiful fake of the shot, and then has it stolen away by Casamani, but San Diego controls. Boy, what a tremendous fake that time by Segota.
And there you can see that he's very comfortable in tight situations.
Throw to Dougherty, back to Mocales. Board pass inside, and Schmetzer now has it. Dougherty tackles the ball away from behind, and San Diego regains possession. Cleveland leads 2-0. Craig Allen and Brian Bliss scoring in the first and second quarters. Force playing some outstanding defense in this one tonight. Oh, PJ had it off the back, and it ricocheted, and Hermes is climbing the glass, and Hermes with the first score, and watch out because San Diego's liable to catch fire.
And of all the opportunities they've had on goal, watch this particular play. Good running out of the back by Wad Hermes. He's furnished the ball by Bronco Segota. And I think P.J. Johns was caught unsighted at the very last minute. There you see number 11, Wad Hermes, getting the first goal of the evening for the San Diego Sockers.
Well, it's now 2-1. Cleveland leads by 1. So stay tuned. You're watching Force Soccer on 19. And now, kicking called against Brian Bliss. Bliss with his first professional goal here this evening, and right now it's looming as the big one because it's the go-ahead. A header, and Kenner that time tried to steer it home. PJ was right there waiting for it.
Exactly right, Denny. Very alert goalkeeping by P.J. Johns. He could have been forced to look otherwise, but he stayed at home at that near post.
Perez this time with a right footer, and PJ left his feet and got some help defensively.
Very rare for Hugo Perez to take a shot with his right foot, but you almost saw the end result.
And we've come to the end of 3 quarters of play. Keep your fingers crossed, Force fans. Cleveland leads 2-1. Can they hang on? We'll stay tuned to find out because you're watching it all on 19. King is on the move. He's double teamed, and Hermes taps it away.
Good goalkeeping by P.J. Johns because, as you said, the fake initially by Hugo Perez forced P.J. Johns to commit. Still ready to save. Very nicely done. And then on the outlet, a beautiful ball that came.
Well, it was only a question of time. Quinn feeds it back in. Perez scores. And we're all knotted at 2 apiece.
There's number 18, Hugo Perez, being congratulated. Now, here's how the play develops. The ball at Perez's feet. Knocks it with the outside of his left to Brian Quinn. On the return pass, he finds Perez, who runs onto it, toe pokes it. That's an equalizer for the San Diego Sockers with 11 1:56 remaining. Number 18, Hugo Perez. Here it is again from floor level. Perez with the ball at his feet. Finds Brian Quinn unmarked. He was the extra man running on to the return pass. A pseudo 1-2, if you will, was number 18, Hugo Perez. Nicely engineered goal by the San Diego Sockers.
Well, they make the power play pay off as Hugo Perez scores goal number 7 on the season. And we're tied up at 2 apiece. Segota unmarked, lets it go. Shot was steered clear by P.J. Johns. Boy, he's going to have some bruises this season. Woo!
If not that, the ball's black and blue.
Aaron Galper will have to get out the ice packs before this one's done. We're tied at 2 apiece, 9:23. Power play advantage for the Sockers. 47 seconds left in the advantage period. Chip across, the header is up, and it is good by Kenner, and now it's a 3-2 match.
Well, Denny, how many times we spoke about the key is to find the open man. Juan Hermes knocks it all the way across the far post. There's Ketter, knocks it down, initially comes off, but it rebounds off P.J. Johns and goes into the back of the net for a 3-2 lead for the San Diego Sockers. Segota, instrumental in getting the play started, across to Juan Hermes, sends it across to the far post. Now Ketter heads the ball down against the crossbar. It rebounds out, not across the goal line initially, but it falls off the back of P.J. Johns' leg for a 3-2 lead for the
Sarita ridden off the ball that time by Quinn.
This Quinn's non-stop, isn't he, Denny?
Yeah, he's amazing. Speaking of Quinn, he's got it. Tries to shoot it, and he goes down hard and heavy, and he and Zarita still kicking at each other. Gino DeFlorio clears it across to Hoskevy. 2:05 left in the clock rolling in this one. 3-2. It's San Diego on top.
Force now playing with Craig Allen deep in the penalty area. All the Sockers will try to get the ball to him, and he'll either lay it off or go forward and take a shot on goal on his own.
Schmetzer back to Kazamani at the red line. Schmetzer again on the wing. Chip pass the other way. Mepham inside. Knees it to Allen across the crease, and nobody was there. Well, had a possible scoring opportunity there, but nobody had run into the penalty area.
Exactly right. Allen did what he could with that ball. It was a lay it off across the goal mouth, hoping that someone could run onto it.
Under a minute and a half to play. Of course, pulling out all the stops to try and get the equalizer. Kazi inside. Dribbles, lets the shot go, and it's blocked almost immediately. Well, a good attempt that time. Quinn runs past Mepham. It's a clear goal. Kazamani at the last moment steps in.
That's his job. 6th attacker. You go forward, you take chances, but then get back as quickly as possible.
We're under a minute to play. Hoskevy. Guy takes it in. Kicks it through. Oh, my goodness. In the crease, and nobody could get a shot off. Hoskevy delivered it inside, and everybody was shielded. Now it's Schmetzer. Chips it ahead. Allen fights Toth for it. Craig Allen goes down, still trying to fight for it. And now Allen gets called for pulling down from behind. Hermes looks up at him. And Allen was just trying to get to the ball with 34 seconds left. There was a lot of contact before that point, and I think Craig's upset with the fact that he wasn't called.
Allen's going to try to draw the top of the ball and get out of all the congestion.
And San Diego calls for time, so with 29 seconds left in this one, we'll tell you to hang in there. You're watching Forest Soccer. Less than 30 seconds left to go. Bill McDermott, it's a 3-2 game. What does Cleveland have to do to score?
Well, move the ball around as quickly as possible. They're playing with the extra man. Try to find Craig Allen deep against the goalkeeper. So he takes the ball off to someone running onto it. It's definitely goal scoring situations just like this when the pressure is on. Mr. Big in the big game.
And don't forget that you're watching MISL Soccer on WOIO 19, Shaker Heights, Cleveland, the television home of the Cleveland Force. Force in action once again tomorrow night on WOIO 19, beginning at 10:30. Opening kickoff at 10:35 against the Stars of Tacoma. That one from the Dome in Tacoma.
Force was victorious last week over the Tacoma Stars by a score of 7-3, and Tacoma's playing at home tonight against Los Angeles.
Baltimore has already won this evening. They beat Wichita, so the Blast now at 8-3, opening up some room in the Eastern Division. Toth with a long pass that's headed by Mepham. Casamini goes up. Now Schmetzer ridden off the play. And the call goes San Diego's way.
Dangerous play whistled up by referee S.E. Baharmas against Aldo Casamini. And we're going to have another procedure penalty against the Cleveland Force. Sixth foul of the quarter against the Force. That was the last foul. The sixth one was called against Casamini with a high foot there. That was the sixth foul of the quarter. Whistled up against the Force.
There's a good look at Andy Schmetzer. Brother Brian on the other side, and father is up in Tacoma, the Seattle-Tacoma area. Tried to dial this one in on the satellite tonight. It'll be interesting to see if he did, but who do you root for in that case? It's pretty tough.
At least he'll have a chance to see one of his sons in person tomorrow night. That isn't. What would he do?
Well, I guess you got to look at it from the situation of you can't lose regardless of what happens. Somebody has to win, right?
Exactly right. Brian, as we pointed out, playing his first game tonight after a 2-week absence.
Kai Hoskevy and S.C. Baharmas still chatting, and they have been talking for the better part of the last 15 minutes on and off ever since Hoskevy got the unsportsmanlike call. 15 seconds left in this one. Crow kicks it long and high. Ali heads it. Hermes with a feed across the crease. Segota operates, turns, shoots. Ali scoops it up, throws it down the field as time expires, and so the near 8,000 fans here in San Diego will go home happy tonight because the Sockers win this one 3-2, and they had to come from behind to do so as Cleveland led 2-0. Bill and I'll be back with a final comment from San Diego right after this timeout.